Hey, thank you for joining me. My name's Alex, and this is Make It Good. So Criterion a couple of days ago had announced that they are going to be putting out a collection on June 27th of this year called Pasolini 101. This is going to be a collection of Pier Palo Pasolini's early works. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through the box real quick, see what's coming out, and you know, hopefully give a little bit of my perspective, and you can make a judgment whether this would be something that you would like in your collection. So let's go ahead and take a quick look. So in the box, we've got 9 movies. Those movies are Acatone, Mama Roma, which previously was entered in the collection at spine number 236. Love Meetings, which is the only, as I can tell, documentary that's being featured in the collection. The Gospel According to Matthew, The Hawks and the Sparrows, also known as, I believe, Bad Birds and Little Birds. Oedipus Rex, Teorema, also in the collection. Porcile, and Medea. So all of these movies except 2 are getting 4K restorations, even though these are going to be on Blu-ray, not on 4K. The only 2 that are not getting 4K restorations are Teorema and Medea. Okay, so moving on to the special features, we've got 2 shorts, La Ricotta and The Sequence of the Paper Flowers. From some of the research I did briefly on Pasolini's Wikipedia page, these are made during the time. They're not early shorts. They were made while he had been doing feature-length films already. There's 2 documentaries. They don't say what these documentaries are, so either, they're most likely just going to be documentaries about some of the makings of some of the films, as opposed to some of the documentaries that Pasolini did himself. But there's not a whole lot of information about what these documentaries are. Okay, it looks like they've also got a brand new program on dedicated to Pasolini's visual style and his visual language in films. This is going to be narrated by Tilda Swinton and Rachel Kushner, and it's one that I'm actually really looking forward to watching if I do pick up the collection after I've seen all the films. So there are 2 audio commentaries that are going to be included on 2 of the films. One for Teorema, which is most likely the same commentary that's already on the single release, and that's by Robert S.C. Gordon, who is the writer of Pasolini, Forms of Subjectivity. I think they would have probably mentioned if it was a brand new one. The other one is Acatone, and they also don't say who this one is, but it may, if they have, the rights to use it, it may be the same commentary that's on the Eureka release, which was by critic Tony Raines. Also included as far as special features, there's documentaries. There's an episode of the French TV program Sinistras de Nostre Temps. There's some interviews, trailers, and of course the big 100-page booklet that's going to be included, which has essays and notes by James Kwan. But also what I'm really excited in that booklet, it has writings and drawings by Pasolini himself, which would be a really interesting look into the mind of the man himself, and maybe what really inspired a lot of these movies, or certain themes or visuals that he was really concentrating on when he directed and wrote these films. So I think one thing that most people will be interested in is sort of the cost breakdown. Now, this doesn't include tax or anything like that. It's just the bare price. So it's going to depend, region to region, whether you buy it in store or whether you buy it online. But if you were to pay the full $249, they're listing $95. It may be $249.99, at the store that you buy it at. But that breaks down roughly to $27.77 per movie, or $28. If you are purchasing it on Criterion's website, not during a sale, it's going to be a base amount of $199.96, or roughly $22.22, or roughly $22 there. You'd still be getting free shipping, so that's flat what you would be paying there. And then if you do buy it on sale on Criterion's website, it would probably run $124.98. They base the sale price on their MSRP, not what they normally mark it down at. And that goes for roughly about $13.89 per movie, or about $14. Keep in mind, I'm just breaking it down by movie only, so this does not include the book. This does not include any of the presentation and the cost in that, or any of the supplemental features within that. Looking over at the picture on there, they don't really show how the films are going to be inserted or held within this. It looks like it's a digibook. If I had to guess, it's probably the little envelope slots that you saw with the Ingmar Bergman's cinema special. A lot of people have a lot of strong feelings on this. I personally don't. I have a few. In fact, I have them right now. I've got the Alien Anthology, the Bourne Ultimate Collection, and then the 30th Anniversary Back to the Future Blu-ray collection, and I've never had a problem with the discs either falling out or getting affected by those slips. Would I prefer if there was a plastic holder? Yes, I would. Mostly because those are easier to get the movie out of. But I've never had a problem with damage to the discs or damage to the books. I think that depends more on how the individual is handling it. I don't have the Ingmar Bergman cinema, so I can't really comment on that and how they did there. But, I've personally never had a problem with digibooks like this, so that's not a concern for me. I would have to guess, though, since they're not showing it, that's what they're going to have. I think they're avoiding anybody seeing that because there are a lot of folks who don't like that sort of hold mechanic, for lack of a better term, for the discs. So if that bothers you, that's just something you need to take into account. And maybe wait until you see some unboxings online and see how the discs are held. So another thing I wanted to point out before I end this video is that with this collection, we pretty much, and excluding the documentaries he did, we pretty much have every film of Pasolini's in the collection. Notably missing from this is the Trilogy of Life and Salo. So, that's only 4 movies. They probably could have made a collection and included those 4 movies on there. There could be a number of reasons why they didn't. Either A, once again, they didn't want to compete with the Trilogy of Life and the Salo and then have people feeling, kind of upset that they need to double dip now, and, make that decision whether or not they want to get rid of the trilogy or Salo, or even Teorema, which is included in here. And it may have also been a cost thing. It may have been more expensive for them to include those 4 extra movies. So maybe they didn't want to do that either. And they just wanted to allow, several different avenues for you to get everybody instead of having to pick and choose. All right, so that was a brief look at the Pasolini 101 collection coming out on June 27th from Criterion Collection. Was there anything I missed here? Any perspective that you want to share down below? Feel free to comment. I do try to respond as quickly as I see them, and I'm open for discussion on anything here. But as always, watch good movies, eat good food, take care of yourself, someone else if you can, and make it good.